Hello and welcome to another video by Perfect Scores. This is Preetinder Kaur and we're doing some videos on grammar, and in this video we are going to cover a topic of pronouns. Now in the last video you might have discussed something about adjectives. So this video, the topic that I'm going to take up is personal pronouns. Now from the preliminary videos you might already know what are pronouns. So pronouns are words that are used in place of nouns. For example, let me say, Ron is my friend. He is in grade 8. So you see in the first sentence, there are two nouns. One is Ron, one is friend. So the meaning is that Ron is my friend. In the second sentence, I'm continuing the discussion about Ron, but I don't need to use the word Ron again and again. So instead of Ron, I use he, and he is a pronoun. So we don't need to repeat those words again and again. So a word that is used instead of a noun is called a pronoun. All right, and look at these sentences. I am working. He went home. They are young. We are old. And if you look at the pronouns in all of these four sentences, I, he, they, we, you will observe that all of these pronouns are talking about persons or people. That is why they're called personal pronouns. And let me write that down. The reason why they're called personal pronouns is because they stand for three people. The first one is the person who is speaking. For example, I and we. Second is the person being spoken to. For example, you. And the third is the person spoken of. That means the person or persons about whom you are speaking. For example, he, she, they, it. So these are the three kinds of personal pronouns. Now the first category, they are known as pronouns of the first person. These, for example, you, the person being spoken to, is known as pronoun of the second person, and this is pronoun of the third person. So diagrammatically, if there are two people talking to each other, let's say this is talking to this person about a third person who is not there in the conversation. So the person who is speaking will be using the first pronouns, for example, I or we. The person to whom he is speaking will be the second person, you. And the person who is being spoken about but is not in the discussion is the third person. So I hope this was clear. What is a first person personal pronoun, a second person personal pronoun, and a third person personal pronoun? So let me revise once again. The pronouns I and we, which denote the person or persons who are speaking, are said to be personal pronouns of the first person. The pronoun you, which denotes the person or persons spoken to, is said to be a personal pronoun of the second person. And remember, you can be used for both singular and plural. And the last pronouns, that is he, she, it, they, which denote the person or persons spoken about, are said to be personal pronouns of the third person. Now, it is usually not used for people. It is usually used for things, but it is still called personal pronoun of the third person. We'll discuss more about this word it in later videos, but for now you need to know about this. Now, the next important thing is what are the different forms of the personal pronouns. So, forms of personal pronouns. Now, there are many forms of personal pronouns. Let's take one example, or let's discuss the first one, where the first person is masculine or feminine, and then we have the singular and the plural also. So let me put it like a table here. Singular and plural. Plural. Alright, under first person, masculine or feminine, there are three kinds of personal pronouns. One is nominative. For example, I or we, the person who is speaking is referring to himself or themselves. I am doing this. Then there is another form which is possessive. So that would be my. This is my book. Or this book is mine. This is our book. This book is ours. And the third kind, so let me label this A, B, and C, is accusative. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to us. So sometimes the nominative is also known as the subjective. And if you remember from the videos on the subject and predicate, subject is given to the thing or the word that is doing the action. I am talking to you. So I is the subject. But when you are talking to me, then I become the object. So remember that. And these are just terms. If you're able to use them properly in a sentence, no problem. You don't have to learn these unless you need it for school. Alright, the second one is the second person. So let's see what are the different forms of a second person, both masculine and feminine. Again, the first one, which is nominative / subjective, is going to be you. And even in plural, it's going to be you. In case of possessive, I need your book. I need the book that is yours. Same here. We need your book. We need the book that is yours. So singular and plural, both. And the last one is accusative / objective. So I was talking to you. I was talking to you. So in singular and plural, both. So just to confirm once again, what do we mean by subjective and these objective? Let's say there are two people. One is A who is talking to B. So whatever pronoun we will use for A will fall under the subjective category. I am talking to B. And this one is also subjective. So you are talking to B. If something is happening to person B, that will be objective. So B will say, don't talk to me. And similarly here, don't talk to you. Alright, so I hope this is clear what is subjective and what is objective. I'm sure that if you make notes on these and just note down these words, you can easily find out the information and it'll be easier to practice. So let's go ahead and talk about the third person now. Alright, so third person, both masculine and feminine, and we have singular, and we have plural. And then the first one is nominative slash subjective. So you have lots of words like, let's say, he is doing something wrong, she is doing something wrong, it is doing something wrong, they are doing something wrong. And then be, which is just going to be possessive. This is his book. This is her book. The book is his, the book is hers. The book is its. And when it comes to plural, this is their book. The book is theirs. And then the last one is accusative. Also known as objective. For example, don't talk to him, don't talk to her, don't talk to it, don't talk to them. So I hope this was clear now. What is subjective, what is objective? So if there are two people talking and one is the subject of the sentence, one is the predicate, or we call it object because it's part of the predicate. So all the pronouns that you can use for subject are known as the nominative personal pronouns. And all the pronouns that you can use for the object are known as the accusative pronouns. For example, let's take another simple sentence to begin with, just to make everything clear. If I say that David likes Tara. Now, who is doing the action in this? It's David. So David is the subject and Tara is the object. So what kind of pronouns you can use for David? You can say he likes Tara, or you can say David likes her. Let's take another sentence. I went to Italy. So the subject is I, which is already a pronoun. Italy is the object. What are the pronouns you can use in place of Italy? It's the name of a place, so you can use the word it. I went to that place, or I went to it. So it falls under the objective category. So you see the words that are doing the action are all subjects, so they are nominative. And the words on which the action is being done are the objects. They are all accusative. So that was about the first person pronoun, the second person pronoun, and the third person pronoun.